I have received several queries about details on the McCall MacBain Scholarship at McGill University in Montreal, Canada. So I have taken this opportunity to shed more details about the scholarship application information that you will need to prepare for in advance, and also on the first, when the application is opened, I'm going to make a video on the application processes. What one must know is that the application is in two folds: one to the McCall MacBain Scholarship Program, and then you also have to apply for the qualified master's program or bachelor's program at the McGill University. So let's dive right into the topic. So first, we will start with eligible degrees. Which programs at the McGill scholarships are eligible? And here they are saying that you pursue funded masters or second entry professional undergraduate program at the university while participating in an interdisciplinary program, right? The scholarship covers tuition fee for a full normal duration of master's or professional program. So if your program is master's and it's 1 year, you will get tuition fee covered for 1 year. If it is 2 years, you get it covered for 2 years. If it is 3 years, you get it covered for 3 years. If you are doing bachelor's in medicine and it's 6 years, your tuition fee for this duration will be covered. And that's what this means. And then a living stipend of 2,300 Canadian dollar per month during the academic term, which means that if the academic term is, let's say, 4 months and there is a break of 1 month, you get this money during the term, but during the break you do not get this amount of money. Take a good note of that. And then a one-time relocation grant for moving to Montreal. So wherever you'll be moving from, they are ready to provide, according to their discretion, how much to give as a relocation grant or allowance. And then you can have opportunity to study French language at the university. So here on the point 2, they put a note here which you should take notice of. Scholars not pursuing an academic term during the summer may apply to up to 5,000 to pursue meaningful summer initiative. So their summer break can be between 3 to 4 months, and during this period, if you want to have some summer programs or whatever it is, you can apply for this an amount of 5,000 to embark on such activity. Here we have the eligible degrees. Okay, so for the summer of 2026 admission, the full-time master's or second, as we have already indicated, the program must consist of 45 credits or more, and take place primarily on McGill's downtown or McDonald campuses. For master's degree, more than 150 fields are covered. So these are the areas for which one can apply and be considered for the scholarship: Master of Art, Master of Architecture, Master of Art in Teaching and Learning, Master of Business Administration, Education, Master of Engineering programs, Information Studies, Management Analytics, Finance, Retail, Music, Public Policy, Master of Public Policy, Master of Science programs, Science Apply. So like I said in the short video, almost all the master's program are eligible for the McCall MacBain Scholarship. And then here we have also for bachelor studies, second entry professional undergraduate programs such as law, dentistry, and medicine are all qualified. Graduate certificates, executive masters, part-time programs, and joint programs are example of programs not covered by this scholarship. Qualifying year student may apply at the start of their qualifying year for their upcoming master's degree. So if you qualify for this, you can start the application for the upcoming master's intake or bachelor's intake. All right, now I will go on to the application. There are some information we need to understand here, and we will start with the criteria. Okay. Eligibility criteria, again, to be eligible for this scholarship, you must meet one of the following. You are a current student on track to earn your first bachelor's degree by August 2026. You earned your first bachelor's degree in the last 5 years, so it shouldn't be earlier than this date, January 2025. You earned your first bachelor's degree more than 5 years ago and were 30 years or young as of 1st January 2025. So here they are giving exception if you earn your bachelor's, let's say 2019, 2018, but on this date you were 30 or younger, then you can still apply. So at least you must fulfill one of these criteria to be able to qualify or for the McCall MacBain Scholarship. Now here they say you need to meet the minimum degree and language requirement for the McGill Master's Program admission. For each program that you are going to consider, you must read on the admission requirement. So if the minimum GPA requirement for the program is 3.0 or 3.2, and you don't meet that minimum requirement, it means you are not qualified to apply for that program. Neither are you qualified to apply for the scholarship, because that is a requirement to be eligible. And then language requirements, we will go into details on the language requirement, but what I would say is that almost all the study programs are conducted in English, and so there are specific requirements on the part of the applicant to meet when it comes to English language proficiency, and we will look at the details on. Yeah, so here let's look at application deadlines for the 2026 admission for Canadian and then American citizens. The deadline is 24th of September 2025, and then for international students the deadline is 20th of August. If you want to check when your deadline is, you can answer the questions here, and then they'll provide you further information on your deadline. But I think if you are international student, you know already, and if you are not international student too, you know already. Yeah, this is not an information for you here. So let's go back, and then on the application, let's see what information else we can okay, so we've checked the deadline. How to apply, very important. Okay, so timeline have been identified here. Between June and then September, you apply for the McCall MacBain Scholars, and then October, December, you apply for McGill program. So here, let's read something. I will come back and then we'll look at the details. Make sure to apply early. The McCall MacBain Scholarship application is available online from June to August or September for the fall 2026 admission. It is separate from the McGill admission, and 2 reference forms are required. Okay, so when you come here, apply to the McGill program, you will need to apply separately to eligible program at McGill University. McGill admission generally opens in September for the following fall semester. Apply by the program deadline or in December at the latest, if selected as a scholarship finalist. So this is very important information to note. Between between October and December, you attend regional interviews, invitation only. After an assessment of the written application, more than 250 Canadians and international semi-finalists will be invited to a regional interview. Your interviewers will be leaders who reflect varied disciplines and life experience. So let's look at the application overview for the scholarship. They have given some tips here that you should take into consideration whilst you prepare to apply for the program. Clear writing will help get your point across. Try to keep your sentences short, avoid unnecessary words, and use active verbs. The thesaurus is not your friend. You can read your essay out loud to hear what you sound like. So as part of the application, you're going to write series of essays, and they are giving you tips on how to write your essay to be coherent, to be convincing, and to be desirable. More importantly, be yourself. You will need to confirm that the application is your own work and has not been edited by anyone else. While you can seek general advice, we want you to tell your story in your own words. So on writing, this is how they expect this is a tip for you on how you should go about your essay writing for the application. On personal growth, your application may show that you have room to grow in one or more areas outlined in our selection criteria. We will have a look at the selection criteria later. Don't worry, it's normal and expected. Think about the McCall MacBain Scholarship as a chance for you to build your existing strength and address those areas that are less comfortable for you. So what they are saying is that you shouldn't be a perfect individual to be considered for the scholarship. There must be room for improvement. You may have some weaknesses that this scholarship can help you build. So whilst you are highlighting your strength, you must also outline or elaborate on the weaknesses that you seek to improve or work on during this application or during this scholarship program. So that is very key and vital. So about the application, you would talk about activities, work experience, and breaks. If you had breaks in your CV between jobs or between academics, you must talk about them, right? So you'll be asked to share your community activity, extracurricular activity, work history, and any breaks you have taken. We want to understand more about how you spent your time outside of the classroom. Generally, you will be asked for activity or experiences that have occurred within the last 5 years. Okay, so take note of this. And then remember, there is no one right set of activities. We want to know about your responsibilities, your accomplishments, and motivations. Similar to other parts of the application, we'll be looking for evidence of the selection criteria in some of your experiences. At this stage, again, I think it's necessary that we look at what the selection criteria is or are. It's important to look at what the selection criteria are. Okay, it's something that we have already looked at already. The application and interview process was very enlightening and stuff. So when you come here, there are also some content you can listen to or use to ensure that you are well prepared for the program. So basically, the selection criteria is also the same as the eligibility criteria, which we have already gone through. All right, so let's see about the short essays. You will submit several short essays of 225 to 300 words each. Think of these essays as opportunities to reflect on who you are. Tell us about your goals, influences, meaningful experiences, and significant course correction. You can expand on the activities you listed elsewhere in your application or provide new examples. Make sure to tell what happened. We want to know what your role was, what you actually did, who else was involved, and more. So they are giving you all the clue of what your essays must entail. Let's go to the transcript. Of course, you can upload official or non-official transcript. And they are saying that the transcripts, they are not focusing solely on GPA. While GPA is important, we are interested in the fit with your proposed graduate program, as well as the breadth and difficulty of the course taken alongside your other commitment. Of course, we recognize that some programs offer more opportunity for breadth than others. So with the um, transcript, what they are looking out for, you see, maybe you studied um, business management at your bachelor's, and you took several courses. Let's say you did microeconomics, you did macroeconomics, and all that. And you are not necessarily going to apply for a master's in business management, but you are going to apply for business master's in economics. They're going to look at how well your scores in economics or your overall knowledge would help you pursue that master's in economics and stuff. So if you did well in certain aspect or certain courses, that can serve as a foundation for you to take the masters in that particular program. You are really good to go. So take note. But of course, overall, your GPA should pass at least the minimum GPA requirement for the study program you intend to study. And then it says you can always provide context for your university transcript if needed. So what it means is that if there has been some weaknesses that you think arose out of some serious challenge during your academic life on campus, you can explain why for this particular semester or for this particular program you didn't do so much well, probably because you felt sick and you were writing exams in the hospital and all those stuff. So yes, where you think you need some explanation or context, you can provide that. And then there is you need to upload a one-page resume. I have samples of resume from the McGill University, which I would eventually share. I think I'm gonna add it to this screen so you can see how it looks like. But if you need more tips on this one, you can always reach out through our inbox or our email address, which is showing on the screen, to request for an editable version, or at least a guide to help you craft a resume to meet the the application requirement. All right, so again, the resume provide a one-page summary of what you've shared in other section of the application, such as the academic, professional, and community experiences. You should take notice of the fact that they have been hammering on community experiences all throughout the information. So it's important to have some volunteering experiences, craft or create your own volunteering experiences, and let them stand out in your application. You can use this single page to highlight what is most important to you in your experience and to share other information that may not have been included in the rest of the application. When they say one page, some of you think so smart that you will compact information on one page without even leaving out like margins for the on the sheet. That is not it. You must follow the standard practice. And fortunately here they have given a font size of 10. So font size of 10 is a bit smaller, so you can put more information. But most importantly, they are asking that you highlight what is most important. You might have engaged in several community activities or volunteering activities, but bring out those that are very important. You don't need to put them all there. You might have had several work experience. Highlight the most significant ones to you and also to the application, the scholarship application. And then when we come here, we have the reference information. You must have two reference forms completed before the application deadline. An academic reference from someone who knows your academic work well, and a community reference from someone who knows your community involvement well. It could also be work or professional. If the program you're applying to doesn't require an academic reference, you can provide a professional work reference instead of the academic one. Okay. If your program requires at least one academic reference, then this reference must be an academic reference. So take note of these. I know some of you left school and it's difficult to get recommendation from lecturers, so you just job or professional reference, but this can affect the validity of your application or the score of your application. So kindly take note. When you submit a reference request, the reference writer will receive an email with a private link to fill out an online form. So your part is to provide information like the email address, the name, the position, the organization of this person who is going to provide reference on your behalf, and the phone number, and then they will send a link to the person's email, and he will provide the requested information on you when it comes to recommendation. All right, please ask people who know you well. A good reference provides concrete example to help us better understand how A good reference provides concrete example to help us better understand you, how you meet the selection criteria, current areas of improvement, and how your proposed study might benefit your continued growth. So please note, and they are saying that do not choose family members, fellow students, or friends. That's a good warning right there. So don't try to play smart, they will figure it out. All right, so for this particular one, if you have any questions, they have information sessions. 21st May there will be, 28th May there will be, and 29th May too there will be. And then scholarship application workshop, you can also participate in the scholarship application workshop on the June 4th, which can help you know exactly how to go about the scholarship. So please take note. Sub-Saharan African information section you can also join that on the June 12, 2025. You can click on the link and mark your calendar for such. You might get very important. You register here, and then you will get a very important information about this. So this is also to help you register, provide some information about you and your interest before the actual application. So take note of that. Apart from the monetary benefit, they will also benefit from leadership development. There are mentors and coaches to help you develop your leadership skills, and they organize workshops on strategic planning, crisis communication, entrepreneurial leadership, political decision making, public speaking, and all that. So these are all packages that award winners stand to benefit when accepted into the McCall MacBain Scholarship Program. On how to apply, I remember we had some information. Okay, so we dealt with the scholarship information. Now about the programs at McGill University, eligible programs for this. We did a quick overview, but again, yeah. So these are the eligible programs again, and you need to apply to one of these. Some programs may require that you find a supervisor ahead of time before you apply. So make sure that the program you intend to study, you have done all the necessary preparation before the application opens. In the heat of the application period, if you contact people to supervise you, you may never get a response because they'll be busy with several requests that they will prioritize them and their time as well. All right, so let's see. Applying an admission to McGill itself, a future graduate student. So before you apply to McGill, there are some points you need to have an understanding on. You find the program, you have to verify the deadline, you have to verify the admission requirements. Of course, because you are going to apply for the scholarship, tuition and fees, you can overlook them. Again, you can see here that identify supervisor. So if your master is master by research and you will need a supervisor, you need to start searching for the supervisor now before you even think of application, because without the supervisor you will not be able to put in the application or complete application. Of course, funding opportunity, we have talked about the McCall MacBain Scholarship, and then you may want to reach out to your potential department for some clarification on points that you might have missed out or whatsoever. Now let's look at the language, English language proficiency, which is very key. So I want to summarize the information here for you. In terms of English language proficiency, they are saying that English is the primary language of instruction and communication at the university. So you must demonstrate an adequate level of proficiency in English, regardless of your citizenship status or country of origin. But here is what might interest you. There is a list here that shows that if you fulfill one of these, then you are not required to provide a proof of English language proficiency. And these four are mother tongue, like language first learned and still used on daily basis is English. So from UK, USA, English speaking part of Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and stuff, they are mostly native speakers, or that is their mother tongue. So yes, such people are exempted from providing English language proficiency test score. 2, you have obtained or about to obtain an undergraduate or graduate degree from a recognized institution in Canada or the United States of America, Anglophone or Francophone. You are still eligible to not provide proof of proficiency. 3, you have obtained or you are about to obtain an undergraduate or graduate degree from a recognized foreign institution where English is the language of instruction. So McGill is saying that if you studied at the University of Ghana or any university in Ghana, any university in Nigeria, any university in Kenya, where English is the basic medium of instruction, then you are exempted from providing English language proficiency test score. So for my people coming from Anglophone developing countries whatsoever, or coming from countries where their undergraduate and graduate programs were taught in English, they are exempted from providing proof of English language proficiency. And then the final one is you should have lived and attended university or been employed for at least 4 consecutive years in a country where English is acknowledged primary language. You should have lived and attended university or been employed for at least 4 consecutive years in a country where English is the acknowledged primary language. So if you have lived and worked and studied or worked in UK for at least 4 years, you can use that as an exemption to providing proof of English language proficiency. So this is very key when considering, and this cuts across all study programs. And then there is educational credential and grade equivalence. The Canada requires mostly that you do credential evaluation that is done by World Education Services and other agencies. So you must check if you need to do credential evaluation. It says, please use this list to fill the GP information section of your application. This list includes the most commonly used grading system for each country. Unique universities grading scales are not described. When the original credential and/or grading scale is written in a language other than English, the description provided here includes the minimum amount of translation and modification. Be sure to include a copy of your institution grading scale when uploading transcript. If the country and credential of interest to you is not listed, you may request an addition by completing this request form. So let's, for example, check Ghana. It's here, and then master's minimum admission requirement should be a 4-year bachelor studies. Doctoral minimum, you should have master's. The grading scale and minimum admission grade requirement are all listed here for Ghana, So, and here overall, the grade overall an overall grade of 60 on 100 or an average standing of second class honors upper division is required. So here they have formalized everything. So if you are between 60 to 69, they are saying you qualify for the upper class. All right, so this is the minimum. Below this, you may not qualify for admission to the study program at McGill University. All right, let's look at the next. Applying to McGill. Okay, so there is a YouTube video already on it. You can copy link and play, or you can play it here. First, you have to create an account in the admission portal. Once admission is opened, I would prepare the step-by-step process of filing application at the McGill University. So please subscribe and click on the notification bell so that once these updates are released, you will be notified to check it and possibly start your application journey by yourself. These are resources that are available for free, and you should take advantage of it to take your journey to study abroad into your own hands. So until then, I wish you all the best. Don't forget to search on the particular program of interest, read about the requirement. If there is the need to find a supervisor, go ahead and search for potential supervisors. One thing about finding potential supervisors is that you should read more about them, know their work, know how well you fit into their work of research. Draft a catchy cold email, straightforward, not whining, not beating about the bush, and reach out to them at a time when there's no too much pressure on them. Maybe with your certificate and CV, updated CV, and request if they'll be interested in supervising your work. If you do all the things right, they will respond, and even if they cannot supervise you, they may recommend other people for you. So you have a duty of crafting excellent cold emails to these potential supervisors to catch their attention or to get their attention. Note, there are going to be thousands of people applying for the same programs and scholarship, so you must do your research well and stand out in your approach to the potential supervisors. That aspect is key. That aspect is key to completing your application. So please take note. So it says how to find and connect with potential supervisors. Here there are a lot of information by the university that you can do. You can also research on former students or current students, who they are working with, what they are working on, how great is the supervisor and all that. So please use all the tools available to you to optimize your chance of getting a potential supervisor to make your application a smooth one. All right. So see you, and I wish you all the best in all your endeavors.